Hey friend, welcome to the treehouse. Want to come inside? Oh, wait, just one last thing. All right, let's go inside. Welcome back, everyone, to Frame by Frame, September 18th, 2025. So excited to be here with you today. We're going to be going over some great stuff in today's episode. But first off, just want to check in and see how all of you are doing. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me, if I sound good. I will say that I am getting over a cold. Kids are back in school, which means parents get sick because the kids are getting sick already. I feel like I spent all of last school season, all of this winter, spring being sick, and then summer finally had a little bit of a reprieve. So what that means is today, this is going to be a hopefully brief, abridged version of Frame by Frame. I'm just going to have to, I wanted to be here today with you, but I am a little bit lower energy and I don't want to overdo it. So today we're going to be going over the Candid Moments weekly challenge from last week, but I'm going to do it a little bit of a speed run, similar to what I did at the end of last week's episode. But for anyone who is here listening right now, or if you're watching in the future, leave a comment below. What is your cold, flu remedy routine? Because I feel like I'm doing everything that I should be doing. I'm resting, getting the fluids. I'm got all the supplements that I think I should be doing. And man, this has been a crazy year. I used to not get sick ever, but since the kids have been in school, it's like just one after the other, and I'm starting to get a little tired of it. So if anyone has some secret old wives' tales or anything that will get a person back up and running, I don't really believe there's anything out there because I've scoured the internet. But if there's anything you do, let me know because I'm willing to try anything. But a couple of quick things, just reminder. Thank you for being here, but I'm working on a new course called Powerful Photography. Still temporary name, but I'm starting to dig it. It's basically a course on how we can take photos that are more impactful. We can use our photography as a tool to impact the world around us. And I'm really excited about this course. I'm almost done with the slideshow and presentation. I've been getting a lot of great photography to use in this course, mine, other photographers, famous photographers of the past, and I'm really excited about this one. I am drinking tea with honey, no lemon though, as I speak. Emma, that is a great piece of advice. And that's pretty much it. Next week we do have a Q&A on Wednesday. Love all the tea advice. Ginger and garlic herbal tea with honey. Next week we got a Q&A with Sam and Will. We should be back on Wednesday afternoon, so stay tuned. I believe the email situation has been fixed in terms of the emails for these events. Let me know if you got the appropriate amount of emails for this event. I think the one thing that I got an email about was I still had a Google Calendar notification for the previously RSVP'd events. Let me know if you got the ones you expected or if you're still getting emails that you're not wanting, just so I know what's going on with these events. But I think things are hopefully fine. But hi from Germany. Hi Lunas videos. Drop in the chat where you're tuning in from. If you're watching the replay of this, thank you for watching this. So I hope you're enjoying the show, and I'd love to have you live. I'm doing this every week, every Thursday right now, and you can head over to the let's see keyboard shortcut. No, look at that. That was pretty good. To the Photography and Friends community to do the weekly challenge for next week, which is Shallow Depth of Field, which is a fun one. I think that one will get us a lot of great photos. And if you submit your photo probably by Sunday, or Monday, I'll be able to get it in for the weekly review on Frame by Frame. So let's get into it. Like I said, I'm going to do a little bit of a speed run. I'm going to try to give some tips for the photos, but we ended up getting quite a few submissions, so we're just going to go for it. Yeah, I know the Q&A is late for Europe. It's just the time that works for Sam, Will, and I. Will teaches classes in the mornings here, so and late in the evening is not good for us. I've got kids. So if you have questions that you want us to talk about or answer for any upcoming Q&A, just go to the page on, this is just a question that I'm getting in the chat. Go to the page for that live session. So just go to live sessions, go to the upcoming Q&A, and then if you're logged in, you can post a comment or question down here. Like we already have a couple, which is great. All right, so let's get into the photos from Candid Moments. Before I show that one, what does Candid Moments mean? It means, I'm guessing, maybe a moment with people in it, with animals, with things happening where you're not posing, you're just capturing a scene that's playing out in front of you. So I'm going to be looking for all the technical skills of framing, interesting composition, lighting, focus, sharpness, all of that being good, but also just an interesting candid moment. So there's lots of moments out there that are day-to-day interactions that some might be more interesting than others. So I'm excited to see what these photos are. So yeah. So what's up, Bob, Peter, Bill, Caesar? Thank you for being here live with us. So let's get to the first photos. Sandra, this is a photo of, it looks like a street performer, one of those ones that's dressed up, looks like a statue. My kids, we saw one of those in France this summer, freaked them out. We never walked by that street again. So, but this kid looks like they're enjoying a good time. I think the moment is really great. Photo's a bit dark. I think if it could have been panned a little bit to the right just to frame it a little bit better, but mostly I think it's too dark. I think this is not a photo where I would want it to be silhouetted. I'd want to see the details of this street performer. So I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. A reminder, I always start at 3. So I try to be as critical as possible. My inherent personality is just to give everyone's 5s and say good job, pat on the back. But with this show, I'm being as critical as possible. I think I've tried to do that. I'm doing a decent job at that. And so don't feel bad if you're getting a 2 or a 3 or a 4. I mean, I don't want you to feel bad if you get a 1 either. It just means that me personally, photography is very personal and subjective for what photos I like. And hopefully it just means that there's some room for improvement. So anyways, let's get to the next photo. Abhishek posted this one. Looks like some sort of street fair, Renaissance fair type thing. Kind of interesting interaction between these women. This is one where I would like to be a little bit tighter on these women. It seems like I could crop out the people on the right, the person on the left, and just be tighter in on there. Maybe straighten it out a little bit. It feels a little bit crooked. So same thing, I'm going to give this one a 2 out of 5. Peter posted this one. Now, this photo, I really like this photo. It's, I mean, anything could be a candid moment, right? Like, what's not a candid moment? I guess something that's like posed or reenacted where you're creating that moment. This is not that. I love the photo. I love the composition. I think it is way better that there's a person there. Without a person, it's still kind of an interesting composition, but I think in terms of the challenge, it's not really a candid moment that when I think of candid moment, but I'm going to give it a 3, but that's just because I'm being super critical of the challenge it's submitted to. If this was submitted to frame by frame within a frame, or silhouette, or street photography, or something like that, I probably would have given it a 4, because it's a really cool photo. Really good, lovely colors, lovely edit. And yeah, really like that one. Bob's here, posted this photo. Bob from Texas, looks like a classic Texas shot. Looks like at some sort of, rodeo, some sort of event where you're with the bulls and the cows, and you definitely get that vibe. I don't know if I would rather see, I've been seeing her face, the person's face, to be more interesting. I guess I'm wondering, like, at this event, was there a better moment that would have created a better photo? I think this photo is not technically wrong in any way. I like the edit. It's not too crushed to the blacks. It's you can see things in the shadows. I think the black and white choice helps clean it up. I could see how a photo like this, you kind of like lose your subject in with the background if it was in color. But I just want to see like an animal with this, I don't know, it's a cowgirl who's walking by. I kind of think that there could have been a more interesting moment where there's an interaction between, a bull and a person, or a cow and a person, or something like that. But overall, technically, I think it's pretty good. I'm going to give this a 3, just because I think it is a decent photo. I just wish there was like a better candid moment at this location. Catherine Barsma posted this photo. This one, I can't tell if the people, looks like someone on someone's shoulders. Are they looking at the sun? Are they looking at you? Is it a posed interaction? Is it not? I think for a candid moment, I want to see the emotions. I want to see the interactions. I want to see the story of the photo, right? I think it's still a nice photo. It's still a good story of, like, looks like maybe a kid and a parent looking over this beautiful body of water with the sun. Nice silhouette. Part of me does want to see like that interaction though. So great photo overall. I'm gonna also give this one a 3. I'm looking personally for this challenge, like a interaction, a story, a candid moment that like has more of that story element. And I think seeing people's faces is important for that. Derek posted this photo of this helicopter. Is that a penguin right there? that looks like a penguin who's like waiting to see what's happening with this helicopter. This one's actually kind of more of a funny moment, a more candid moment that I appreciate. I think technically the photo looks like, I don't know if it's just the upload, maybe you're cropped in quite a bit. The quality is a little bit off. It's like not as sharp or something, or maybe it's like sometimes when you're like photographing, I don't know how helicopters work, but like if there's like fumes, like it kind of gives that sort of wavy air vibe where you can't see clearly. I don't know if that's what's happening or just like the air movement. I think this is such a funny moment. I just wish the composition was different. Maybe a landscape instead of a portrait where you could see the whole helicopter. Maybe at a different angle so that you could see, I don't know. Gosh, I don't know. It's funny. It is funny. I'm going to give it a 3. I think technically I wish that the helicopter, see how like the things are like in front of each other, like there's the two people in front of the helicopter in front of the background, and it all sort of blends together. Like for this type of photo where you're in, I don't know, is this Antarctica, I'm assuming, or somewhere like that, separating the subjects from the background would really help this look like a cleaner, polished image, which I think makes sense when you're in Antarctica with all the snow and ice in the background. So like from a different angle, you might have gotten the helicopter on like a pure white snowy background, you still have these cool cliffs in the background, and then maybe the people and the penguin could be separated as well. I think the story of the penguin just sitting there waiting for a ride is pretty funny though. I just think the composition for me isn't doing it. So again, I'm gonna give this one a 3. Lots of 3s. You're in with good company. I love the moment though. I think just compositionally it's not my favorite, but still great moment. Mubin posted this. Now this is like a really sweet moment. I like this moment a lot. It's a little awkward with like, I don't know if that's the parent leaning down, like kind of like the moment of just between like the kid on the shoulder and the other person that the kid is giving the flower to, or maybe that's not flower, it looks like fruit or something at a farmer's market. Seeing his face as well would be interesting. There's something awkward about like the parent crouching down at the bottom of the frame, so maybe seeing wider even, or just cropping in at more of an angle to the left might be better. Luna's videos makes a great point about then you would miss the moment. I think this was in regards to the last photo. This is obviously a good point, and I can be a Monday afternoon quarterback or whatever the phrase is, where I can judge any photo, but I wasn't there. I didn't know. Maybe that person was on a boat and they couldn't move to the left or right, or maybe that penguin was just waddling by and it was just in that split moment they captured that photo with the penguin standing that looks like it was standing right there. So of course, yes, I'm just giving opinions based off of me not being there. So take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt in terms of me saying, oh, what could make this composition better? Of course, you're capturing these moments just like this one. Like this was a split second moment of this guy leaning down, maybe I'm just assuming a grandpa or grandfather getting a piece of fruit for the kid. So you're not gonna, the point is not to be like, oh wait, pause there, let me change my angle and get a better composition. A lot of that though has to do with intuition as a photographer and being able to move quickly, but just all that intuition of seeing a moment about to happen and framing up. But that takes a lot of practice. All right, so for this photo, I think I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it a 4. I think the interaction is actually pretty nice, and I know people are gonna disagree with that. Leave comments below with what you think these photos should get, or what you like or what you didn't. 90s TV Nostalgia says you need 2 ratings for the photo and for how candid it is. Yes and no. I think that could work. I think that the point is to challenge you to do a great photo for a specific topic. And so I'm combining it in my mind. Of course, we can give a different rating based off of how technically and interesting and beautiful a photo is, but versus how it applies to that challenge is a different thing. So yeah, I mean, I think we could do that. That's just not what I'm doing here. Okay, so here's a photo. Hong Wang posted this of lions, a lion cub and maybe lion mother. I like the interaction. I like the moment. Kind of I don't know if you zoomed in this far or if you cropped in. I kind of wish you saw the full lion mother's ear and the cub's paw. It seems like it's cropped out unnecessarily. But a great moment. I'm going to give it a 3. I think it's a pretty cute moment between these two animals. Compositionally, I would just change it up a little bit. Zoom out. And yeah, I think Emma, I agree. I wish the cub was a little bit sharper. It seems like maybe the focus was off a little bit. It seems like the focus is on more of the fur of the mother in the background. Could have been a little bit of a fast motion with a slower shutter speed that didn't capture it sharply either. David, this is a photo. Oh gosh, what is this called? Is this that is this the Japanese pancake thing? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I saw something like this in Osaka. But we got, looks like two ladies that work at this restaurant. One's waiting for an order or something, while another one is kind of flipping these little pancake things. I think again, it's like I feel like there was a conscious decision to either focus on and expose to the lady in the background. This is one where I almost wish I was zoomed out a little bit more or backed out away, just so that you could still see the story of what's going on with the person in the foreground. Not that you have to see the whole environment, but just being able to see, like, she's got these two spatulas going for something, but I wish you could. Oh, Binde Tech and Seoul. Yeah, I didn't think that was Japanese writing in the background. But yeah, so you could see what she's doing, but I don't necessarily need her to be the subject, like the focus and the exposure. I think having the exposure on the lady in the background waiting for the order or whatever is good. I just wish it was a little bit back. Technically, overall, though, looks like a great photo. Colors are great. Contrast is really nice. David does a really good job at finding these photos. I can tell it's a photo from you, David, because I've seen your photography enough to know like what your photos look like. I'm going to give this one a 4 because overall I think the moment is actually pretty good. Compositionally, I might zoom out a little bit, but it's still like captured it at a really, really good moment. Marie posted this photo of a cat, looks like about to chomp on a house plant, which I know how that is. That's kind of annoying. It's kind of an awkward angle, like being face down like that. I almost like flipping it around feels more balanced to me. Just the angle that it was taken at. I think it's like a really cool idea looking down at your cat with the plant. I don't like that shoe there. I don't like that little white thing coming into the frame, and it feels off kilter. Yeah, kind of at a weird angle. So I would flip it around. Maybe even black and white would be interesting, although you would lose the green of the plant. But I feel like the lighting and the textures of the plant and the cat would look kind of good in black and white. And overall, it's kind of a cool moment. I'm gonna post it as a 2. Caesar says, I feel like posting cats is cheating. Okay, I typically am swayed by the cat photos. This is true. All right, let's get to the next photo. Oh, was this the next one? Hold on. Yes. Emma is here. I love this photo. There's something about just the negative space that you see, just like the colors, and you can tell like the story of the people biking by on this bridge. I find this really, really cool. I think you leveled it out very nicely. There is some symmetry in terms of like the wires that are holding up this bridge. So really cool photo. I mean, in terms of like a candid moment or an interaction, I'm not sure. Like maybe it could be improved, but this in itself being the moment from this perspective, it's just so clean. I really like it. And for this challenge, I'm gonna give this one a 5. I really like this one. When I saw this one, when you posted it, because I did scroll through some of these photos earlier in the week, it was, I think, one of my favorite ones for sure. And yeah, just clean. It looks almost like retro. I don't know when this was taken, but just from what they're wearing, the bikes, you can't tell if this like was taken yesterday or 20 years ago. It's just kind of a cool photo. All right, next photo. Todd posted this photo of a kid about to go on the slide. Nice moment, nice photo. Maybe would have wanted to like see like the kid like with the both hands. I don't know. It feels a little cropped off to the side, like a little bit. So maybe choosing to crop in or backing out and to the left a little bit. Yeah, nice photo of this kid about to go down the slide. Like, would for a candid photo, would a photo where he's not looking at the camera, where he's going down the slide, hands up, smiling face, be a little bit more interesting? Yeah, I think that could have worked better. So in terms of like a story, a moment, I think it could have been improved. It's still a really nice photo though, so I'm gonna give it a 3 for the technical quality of it. All right, next photo. Caesar posted this one. This is a really cool photo, Caesar. Super interesting crop with the people down way on the right side. It's something that I feel like I would do. So maybe you're playing to the audience with this photo. I really like this style of photo. It's also kind of like a nice moment. You can tell like what's going on in a sense with the woman down there with her hand on her knee, and she's maybe a little tired. It looks like maybe they went for a good long walk and now they're taking a rest. So it's a really cool moment, I think. But besides that, I think the composition and that choice of doing something with a lot of negative space is really cool. So I'm gonna give this one a 4. Nice photo, nice overall moment. You can tell what's going on with this moment, and I think that for me is what makes a candid moment photo interesting to look at. Ooh, Colette, this is a really cool photo of just a really cool edit and exposure, composition, frame within a frame. I love this night photo of this guy who, I don't know if he works at this store. Maybe he's waiting for a partner who's trying on clothes, or he's the shop owner or something. You can tell that he's a little bit bored waiting. I love the framing. It looks like a cleaning company. So cleaners. I could barely see at the top. It says cleaning. I really like this photo, and I almost like that, like he's just kind of barely cut off the frame with that door frame. You're not seeing his whole body. I actually like that, and I like that you decided to keep it cropped out, so you have like a little bit of a sense of, you know, the cleaning, and you could have decided, oh, I'm gonna crop right into this, but I think it's really, really cool. Colette says it's a worker at a laundrette. So, yeah, that makes sense. And I think the moment speaks for itself. It tells a story of like, if it's a worker there, like, you know, waiting for a customer, waiting for the end of the day. And I really like this one too. So I'm actually also going to give this one a 5. I just love the edit. I love the framing. So technically great. And then also the moment for me speaks to me as something very interesting. Varushka. Oh, what is that guy holding? The older guy. What is he got in his hand? I can't see. Interesting framing within this, you know, these pillars in this shop or store or whatever this is. I can't tell what he's holding in his hand. I wish I could. Lots of cool colors going on. I'm gonna give this one a 3. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I can't tell exactly what's going on with the story of this moment, but technically it's a pretty interesting photo. Nice edit, nice framing. Bill posted this photo of looks like some people working on a mural, which is really nice. I like the moment. I like that you can see like people in the background working on it, and then this little girl in the front is like working, but maybe like, I don't know, just paused, wondering what's going on, wondering what to do next. And so she's like the main subject of this photo. The square crop is interesting too. I think it works pretty well. Yeah, I don't have anything really negative to say about this one. I'm gonna give this one a 4 because I think compositionally, technically, it looks pretty good, and the moment is nice. It's a nice story about about, I don't know if they're a family or not, but this group of people who are working on this mural, very colorful, nice framing. And lion, this is a really cool photo. I like this. I'm not sure if I would rather have like if I want those flowers to be in focus or not. Like, it's super shallow depth of field. Looks like the focus is mostly on her ear, and then it starts to fade off out of focus to her lips, nose, and then to the flower, which actually with this type of photo looks pretty good. It doesn't like necessarily look bad. The white balance to me seems a little bit off. Like, it's just like super bluish green on her face, and maybe that's from the camera trying to auto white balance and it just being slightly off. So I might push the white balance just a little bit warmer or more magenta. Maria says kids in the photo is cheating too. Yeah, it's kind of true. I can't give a 1 star to a photo with a kid. This one, I think this is one, like, compared to the one with the kid going down the slide, I actually like this as more of like a candid moment better. So I'm gonna give this one a 4. Kylie posted this photo of this pup. Looks like it's licking its lips, waiting for a treat or something. Out on a walk at a coffee shop. It's a nice picture of a dog. Is it a story? Is it like a candid moment that tells, like, sparks intrigue? Not so much, but technically it's a really nice photo. I'm gonna give this one a 2 though, just because I think that I'm just wondering if there could have been a more interesting interaction or story about this moment or on this walk that would have happened with this dog. Maciej posted this family, looks like, going under the beach tunnel, walking home. Yeah, it's a nice photo. I mean, technically it's pretty good. It's kind of flat. I might have like made it a little bit more contrasty, made the inside of the tunnel a little bit darker. I don't mind necessarily the crop with them sort of on the bottom right, but making it a little bit more contrastier, you would have had like more of a shadow on that left side stand out, which is kind of an interesting just shape. Yeah, there's 2 ways that I see this. That's like they're walking away from the camera, which shows like the end of the day, or I don't know, maybe they're going to the beach, but it's kind of like when someone's walking away from a camera, it symbolizes like walking away, the end of a journey, that kind of thing. Of course, they might just be walking towards the journey, but yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3. It's like technically pretty good. I might just crop out that top bar at the top as well, just to clean up the framing. You could probably tighten it just a tiny bit if you did that and lose that cone on the right hand side. I don't know, it might be a little bit too cropped in to the kid on the right, but yeah. Michelle, another kid photo. Kid chomping down on some broccoli. That's good. Eat your greens. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, it's like a cool photo. I think like technically I like the shallow depth of field, the framing of this person eating this kid eating the broccoli. I'm thinking about the photo where at the farmer's market, the grandpa or whoever was handing like fruit to the kid. I think like technically this photo is better. Technically, or not technically, but for me, the story, the candid moment of the other photo, like, is more interesting to me. But again, it's like, how do you compare like these different interactions and photos? It's just different person, different kid, different moment. This is a photo that you're gonna love to have for years and years to come if this is your kid. And show them that, you know, you used to eat vegetables when all they want is crackers and chicken nuggets. So I'm gonna give this one a 3. It's a really nice quality photo. And I mean, it's a nice candid moment too. And yeah, 3. 3s are good. So yeah, 3. Suzanne posted this photo. Looks like a person writing in a journal. Suzanne, I know I've been giving you felt like I was giving you a hard time the past couple weeks. I can't remember what your photos were, but technically, I think you've improved in this week in terms of a nicer quality or a nicer focus, like better focus, better composition. I don't know what this person is writing about. There's nothing like in the frame that tells me more about the person's story, but technically the photo looks pretty good. And it's kind of a nice moment of this guy just writing in his notebook. You kind of can tell a lot about this person with, oh, Suzanne, your Luna's videos. Is that you? Um, you can tell a lot about this person with the way he's dressed, his beard, his shirt, the rings he has on his fingers. So I think I'm going to give this one a 3. Just being a good quality photo. It's, a moment you captured while you were sitting there. And yeah. All right, let's get to the next one. Annette posted this photo. Looks like, it's a caretaker, maybe a wife and a husband, pushing the husband, the man in a wheelchair. I think there could have been a lot different in terms of this interaction or this couple to make it a better photo. First off, technically, like straightening out that horizon. You see that line, it's kind of tilted across the frame. They're kind of lost in this railing, this handrail. So that's a little bit like the uncleanliness, like of the image. It's like hard to see the subject in a sense. I can imagine a moment. Here's where you're gonna be like, well, Phil, you just gotta capture the moment, bro. Like, there's no you don't want to like create the moment or whatever. But like, I feel like I can imagine this couple was probably walking around this beach scene or this water scene for a while. The lady maybe pushing the man. And so you don't want to be a creeper or anything, but like, unless this is like your family and you're just kind of following them around with a camera or going with them. But there's probably a situation or a composition where the lady was pushing the man down a path with like a cleaner background that would have been a little bit more compositionally interesting. So potential for story, I'm going to give this one a 2. Because I think there could have been something a little bit different in terms of composition and just when to take the photo in this scene. Svant, this is a cool photo. I really like the composition of this one with the lady checking her phone in the mirror. Now, if it was just a photo of like this lady sitting against a wall or standing there without the mirror, compositionally it wouldn't be as interesting. I'm not sure if she was shopping at this glasses store or not. It would have been kind of more interesting if like she was and she was like holding up a frame, some glasses. I think that like just a person, like I'm not interested in people looking at their phones. Like that's not an interesting story, but that is like the story of our lives now. And so compositionally, I think that's where this photo is really cool and makes it a better photo than just a photo of someone like looking at their phone. So I think because I love the composition so much, I'm gonna give this one a 4. And I think it is a nice moment. It's like a candid moment of this person that's walking down the street, stops to check out, the mirror, look at herself, stops, look at a message or something like that. I think it's kind of interesting. Paul posted this photo of this guy jamming on the saxophone. I like the color. I like the mural behind it. Like adds a lot. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's a great photo. I think like it's easy to, or not easy, but like street performers are great subjects to practice on because they're out there. When you're out walking in a city or a town, a lot of bigger towns have people out performing. And so it's it's a good person or group of people to take photos of. We saw the one earlier of the guy pretending to be a statue. I think personally, I'm kind of like, I'm tired of like the photos of street performers. It seems like it's been overdone. But if I take out all of my biases about what I like to take photos of, this is a really cool photo. I love the colors. I love the flower mural behind. He chose a great spot. The edit's like a flat sort of edit, not too contrasty, which gives it sort of like a vintage vibe, which I kind of like. Um, and it's overall kind of like a pretty artistic look. I think I'm also gonna give this one a 4. It's like interesting enough. Like if the background wasn't so interesting, it wouldn't be a 4 to me. But because thankfully he chose this spot to take this photo or to play saxophone, it makes it a cool composition. I like that he's by himself. You don't see anyone else. Yeah, and David has a good point. I also like that as a rule of thumb. If you're going to take a picture of someone doing street performance, I think it's a good idea to give them some cash. This one, at Magenta Bear. Really cool edit. It's like super contrasty, but the blacks are raised a little bit, so it's kind of like a faded black look, faded film kind of look. You got this like vignette from the bottom, so it's a super creative edit, which I can appreciate for making this photo like more interesting. Got a cool subject with this old car, I don't know, this is like an old army car or something like that. Got the dog in there. I think the dog's look adds a lot to this photo. Like without the dog it'd be okay, but like the dog being there, it's just like this funny trio. Caesar says maybe without the vignette. The vignette at the bottom is a little intense. You see it on the side as well. It definitely looks unnatural. It's not like a natural vignette that would come from a choice of lens or things like that. So it's definitely like a creative look. Oh, looks like, well, the car looks like 70th D-Day. I don't know, some celebration. Gosh, what would you guys give this photo? I'm curious. I'm gonna give it a 3. I don't know if that's surprising or not. I'm gonna default to 3 because it's a good photo. Sharpness is there. I think the edit to me works well. I don't know. I'll leave it at that. Okay, that was it for the Candid Moments photo challenge from last week. That was a hard challenge. I think like you had to be out there taking photos to get those, and I think for some of us it's hard to do that. It looks like we got some 4s and 5s coming for that one. I might be leaning towards a 4 as well. Like David says, 4 because of the cute dog. Yeah, I agree. All right, I'm gonna zoom through. I'm feeling okay. So I'm gonna just zoom through the By the Water challenge. I think I've got about 13 or 14 photos. Speed round, gonna get this done in like 5 minutes. And yeah, so let's do it. By the Water. Aaron, beautiful photo, lovely colors, super edited. I don't know if it's over edited or not, but love the colors. And I'm just gonna give you a 4 for the fact that it probably took some extra effort to either get up super early or stay out late. Almost looks like a sunrise to me. I don't know. Let me know if you think this was a sunrise or sunset, but kudos to you for getting out there and getting that shot. Saud Almadi, this is also a really cool By the Water shot. I kind of like how it just like fades into the distance. Like the mountains start to fade out and it just blends into the sky. Just really nice composition. Nice composition, nice scene. I'm also giving this one a 4. Feeling good about By the Water shots. Nice colors too. Kind of turquoise-ish, greenish. Hong Wang posted this one. This one's nice. Ooh, interesting. Trying to get this silhouette. You got the reflection. Hong, the one thing that you needed to do was straighten out that horizon. I think it's off. Is that off? It's hard for me to tell. Maybe it's not. Something looks tilted like this, right? It looks like that. The photo looks a little tilted. Yeah, such a cool photo, such a cool place. I'm gonna give it a 3. I just think like in this location with this water, there was probably like a way to compose it with that person. I don't know if I like the sun flare being so flary. Maybe like moving to the right a little bit so that the subject is perfectly silhouetted. I don't know. All right, sorry, Hong. I'm gonna move forward. Carl, this looks like a film frame from like the end of like, I don't know, Free Willy or something like that. This is interesting. The sun is like so overexposed, and you probably tried to like bring it back that like the boat feels a little bit well, it's just like you don't have any information in that sail of that boat really, or that post, the mast, or I don't know what it's called. I'm not a seaman. So you lose definition a little bit. So dropping the exposure when you took the photo might have been good to see some more details in the boat, but it's still a really, really, really cool frame. And I like the crop, wide crop. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 3. Maybe I wish like the boat was directly in the center of the sun. I don't know. 90s TV's nostalgia says, can't a minor tilt be considered artistic? Absolutely. I think a tilted angle can be artistic. I think when it comes to, at least for me, landscape photography where like the horizon is just slightly off, it to me feels like something that could be cleaned up at a level angle. But absolutely a tilt can be artistic. I think usually it would have to be a little bit more tilted to make sense as something that was purposely done. But a canted angle photo where you have that sort or Dutch angle where it's like at an angle, filmmakers, photographers use that absolutely with the storytelling of their photos. Mubin, this is a beautiful photo. I love this. I love the moment too. This is a great candid moment shot. You got people out at the beach. You got one person running, a person walking their dog. Yeah, this is just a really cool photo. And I actually don't mind the bottom 2/3 being the reflection. Some people, maybe I would say like put that horizon right in the center of the frame rather than, at the top upper third. I think you probably could have cropped in just a little bit, gotten a tiny bit closer to the subjects, and then crop out like maybe that right post of the pier. But I think it looks really, this is just a beautiful photo. Really, really nice job. I'm going to give this one a 4 as well. Just really nice colors. Caesar posted this one of this boat. Looks like you were going for some sort of foreground object elements or framing within a frame. I would have tried to move to frame that boat right in the middle of some part of that tree. So I feel like that's probably my critique right now. I think that would make this photo better. I'm going to give it a 2, Caesar. And I think just working on that framing, making a choice to like frame up the boat, or because the boat seems like it should be the subject of this photo, so that you could see the full thing, would be nice. Alan Reed, where is this? This looks pretty cool. Nice sort of aerial shot. Seems like the sky might have been edited with like a sky filter in Lightroom where you bring down the exposure or something. It looks a little bit darker than natural. I'm going to give this one a 3. Like compositionally, it's pretty good, but I would probably make a few changes to the edit. Kylie, this is the first one where it's like more of a photo of a subject by the water. That's pretty nice. I think to highlight the water more, maybe like I like the framing too. It's this frame within the frame, but maybe being up a little bit higher so you're seeing more of the water. You know, who knows what that would mean. Like, again, that might not be possible, but holding the camera up, moving to a spot that's a little bit higher would be interesting. I like that they're just looking out over the water. I'm gonna give it a 3. I think it's also a little muted, the colors. You could probably, just for creative sake, like boost the colors a little bit, maybe adjust the exposure of the subjects themselves to make them pop from the background just a little bit. But I really like the idea to frame within the frame of these plants. All right, now this is Kate. This is kind of a great example for the Caesar's photo where you chose to frame this boat and these two people in this boat within these trees. I really love that. You edited it so that they are highlighted, the brighter part of the image, which our eyes are naturally drawn to, and then the darker parts surrounding. You probably brought the exposure down just a bit. This is one where the vignette looks somewhat natural. It may be pushed a little tiny bit far, but yeah, I really like it. Very green, but I don't mind it. This might be one of my favorite ones. I'm gonna give this one a 5. I really like the composition of this one. So good job, Kate. Abhishek. Nice photo of this bridge. Yeah, I mean, it's a photo of the water by the bridge. It's not super creative in terms of composition to me. So I'm going to give it a 3. You know, technically the colors are nice. Everything's exposed. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if there was a better way to compose that bridge, but yeah, decent photo. Ooh, that's super cool. I've never used one of these photo ball things, but super cool. You flip the photo because I think when you look through those, everything's flipped, right? So you have what's inside the ball framed properly. I could have probably got it in a little bit tighter just to be able to see what's in that ball a little bit more, but still super creative. And it probably took some work to be able to compose that pretty well so that what's in the photo ball, the lens ball, I don't know what you call those things, is a nice composition itself. So I'm going to give it a 4. Good work. Maybe a little dark. Maybe brighten up the whole thing. Ooh, oh, I do not have the name of this person. I apologize for that, but this is an alligator or a crocodile. I don't know. How can you tell the difference? Kind of just blends into the background. You can tell that they edited it so that the surrounding part is a little bit darker so that the croc stands out from the background, which I think works. I don't know if it's too much. Yeah, it's kind of like a nice texture shot. Interesting. It's definitely a different story of a photo by the water. Oh, this is Emma. Okay, cool. Emma. Sorry I didn't have your photo here. Yeah, no, it's a cool photo. I'm gonna give it a 3. Yeah, just for no reason other than I'm trying to think if there was a way I could have thought this would be a more interesting composition. I don't know. It's like you can't do much with a crocodile that's lurking through the water. I wish maybe you could see the eye more or something like that, but overall good photo. And that brings us to the end of the show. Wow, I made it through. Awesome. I want to give a big shout out. I didn't do this last time. All of our supporters over here, really appreciate you being a Plus member supporter. So these are the people in the Photography and Friends community. If you go over there, you can join us as supporters. It really just helps keep the lights on every month. We're almost at equilibrium in terms of paying for the platform. So for $5 a month, you can help us pay for the monthly fees to host the community. It also just shows appreciation for what we're doing here and pays us back a little bit for our time. You can also, as always, support us by joining our courses over on Udemy or over on videoschool.com. You can become a member there and get access to all of our photography courses. For our members, I have a question. I might be changing things up. Platforms are changing, pricing's changing, so I'm trying to figure out a way to better host the courses and give value to our supporters. Right now, we have all of our courses hosted, of course, on Udemy, but also on Video School. I had added a lot of lessons from our courses here on Circle. It becomes a little bit it's too costly to add all the courses here on Circle without bumping up to like a super expensive monthly or annual fee for this platform, although I would love to just have everything right here, so potentially that's an option in the future. But not many of you are actually taking the lessons in the supporter section of Photography and Friends, so I might use that for something else, maybe like exclusive courses or early access to courses. Something I've thought about with the upcoming powerful photography course I'm working on is putting it here exclusively first, giving it access to all of our supporters to that course in the beginning, and also anyone who wants to join that course specifically on the platform before posting it on Udemy. Udemy is going through a huge change with revenue sharing, details that you don't necessarily need to know or care about, but instructor revenue sharing, and it's plummeting basically. So we're looking at other ways to make the business a little bit more sustainable. So anyone who joins is helping out so that we can keep doing what we're doing over here in the Photography and Friends community. And you can do that by going to the Become a Supporter page. And here you can find all the information about that. And when you do that, you get access to the supporter space down here, which is a private group where you get more direct access to us. The video lessons, like I mentioned, but most importantly, it's just like a way to say thanks and give back. So, you know, I don't think we have like the YouTube tip jar, but maybe eventually we'll throw a YouTube tip jar down there so that you can give us tips or something like that as well. But take a course. You can find all of our courses here as well. Links to our courses. These link out to the courses on Udemy. We have a ton of them. If there's any courses you want us to create, these are just our photography ones. We got all sorts of other courses as well on our profiles. If there's courses you want us to create, if there's ones that need to be updated, I know we need to update some of these, let us know. But yeah, so again, thank you so much to our supporters. And with that, it's the end of the show. Nope, didn't want to do that. We'll see you in the community. Have a beautiful day as always. And we will see you next week. Wednesday, Q&A with Sam and Will. And then I'll be back for Frame by Frame on Thursday. All right, have a great one. Get out there, take photos. Shallow Depth of the Field photo challenge for this week. All right, bye.